Hey man, there's one move, just one. One shift in your energy, your presence, your mindset, that makes a woman pause. It makes her recalibrate everything she thought about you. It makes her rethink your value, your depth, your power. And what's wild is, you don't even have to say a word. It's the moment you stop trying to prove your worth. Not because you're giving up, not because you're bitter, but because deep down, you finally know your worth doesn't need to be explained, defended, or sold. That shift, that silent recalibration, is the one move that changes everything. Because here's the truth, she's not drawn to you because you beg, chase, or constantly explain how much you care. She's drawn to the man who doesn't flinch when she pulls away. The man who doesn't fold under silence. The man who doesn't beg to stay. That man triggers something primal in her. And once you make that move, once you stop trying and start being, she sees you completely differently. Let's break this down, piece by piece. Because this move isn't about strategy. It's not some manipulation game. It's about stepping into a version of you that she can't help but respect. And once she respects you, attraction isn't far behind. See, most guys make the mistake of thinking more presence equals more value. If I just call her more, text her more, give more, she'll see how much I care. But what actually happens? She starts pulling back, getting colder, less responsive, because it doesn't feel like leadership, it feels like fear. It feels like validation seeking. It feels like you need her to feel okay. But when you make that one move, when you stop seeking and start observing, your energy shifts. You become mysterious, grounded, hard to read, and that throws her off balance. Suddenly, she's the one asking questions. Why did he stop chasing me? Why does he seem so calm now? What changed? That's when the reversal begins. That's when the scales tip. That's when she starts to feel your absence like a weight. Because you're not just gone physically, you're gone emotionally. And that stings more than anything. You see, this move isn't loud. It's not dramatic. It's subtle, quiet, surgical. It's the kind of shift that happens in your inner world and radiates into everything you say and do. You stop over-explaining. You stop waiting for replies. You stop needing her reassurance. And what you gain in return is magnetic energy. She feels it. She doesn't know why, but she feels you slipping into a space she can't control anymore. And let me tell you something deep, something raw. Every woman has a moment where she tests your soul, not because she's evil, not because she wants to hurt you, but because she needs to know, can this man handle her emotional chaos without falling apart? And most men fail that test. They become needy, reactive, desperate. They panic when they don't get a reply. They lose sleep when she pulls back. They throw their power away by trying to fix, chase, or prove something. But you're about to learn the power of doing the opposite. You're about to learn that silence is a message, that absence is a form of presence, that walking away, not out of anger, but out of grounded self-respect, makes a woman rethink her entire emotional strategy with you. Because that's when she sees you differently, not as the guy who waits around hoping to be chosen, but as the man who chooses himself first. And that's the shift that electrifies her nervous system. She starts remembering your eyes, your voice, the way you walked, the way you didn't need to explain yourself. And that memory, that emotional imprint, that's what keeps her awake at night, not your good morning texts, not your constant validation, but the fact that you disappeared into your own world and didn't leave a trail behind. Let's go deeper. You've got to realize, most women are surrounded by men who are emotionally overexposed, guys who reveal too much, too fast, guys who give their all before they've earned her investment, guys who don't hold back because they're afraid she'll walk away. But when you hold back with strength, not pettiness, you become rare. You become unpredictable. You become powerful. And unpredictability is magnetic. It creates tension. Tension is emotional caffeine. It keeps her thoughts buzzing, her heart racing, her curiosity locked in, because she doesn't know where she stands anymore. And that, my friend, is the moment she starts chasing. You're no longer the man she can wrap her emotions around. You've become a mirror she can't stop staring into, trying to find her reflection again. That's when she feels something she can't explain. That's when she replays the moments you stopped texting first, the day you didn't check in, the moment you didn't flinch when she said she needed space. Because most men can't do that. But you're different now. You understand that your value doesn't increase by chasing someone who's drifting. It increases when you center yourself. When you become so grounded in your own worth, her pullbacks don't destabilize you. They make you colder, sharper, more mysterious. She starts wondering what you're thinking, if you still care, if you've moved on. And that uncertainty, that's what awakens a deeper desire inside her. But here's the twist most men miss. This move isn't about getting her back, it's about getting yourself back. Because the real win isn't her renewed interest, it's your renewed power, your peace, your self-respect. The way you walk now, the way you speak now, the way your energy enters a room and commands silence, because you're no longer emotionally scattered, you're whole again. That's the one move. That's what changes how she sees you forever. Not your compliments, not your gifts, not your attention, but the moment you became untouchable. That's the moment she realized you were never like the others. That's the moment she felt something deep, electric, and terrifying. She might lose you, and it would be her fault. Most guys spend their whole life chasing women, thinking that if they just say the right thing, do the right thing, or act the right way, they'll finally get her to see their worth. But here's the hard truth. Women don't fall for men because they're perfect. They fall for men who shift the energy. Men who don't try to convince her. Men who make one powerful move, and suddenly, the entire dynamic flips. That move, you stop reacting. You stop chasing. You stop trying to prove yourself. You stop playing her emotional game and start walking in your own. And when you do that, when you stop giving her constant emotional attention, she can feel it in her soul. It's not even about the words, it's about the shift in presence. She starts questioning, wondering, doubting. And the longer you stay in that grounded, emotionally controlled place, the more she spirals, not in a manipulative way, but because she's biologically wired to crave masculine energy that she can't control. The second she feels your detachment, when she realizes she no longer has the power to pull your strings, something ancient in her brain kicks in, a kind of curiosity, an emotional hunger, because now she's not sure she has you anymore, and that's what changes everything. The moment she can't figure you out is the moment she starts to feel again, to feel desire, to feel uncertainty, to feel longing. And it's not because you said some perfect line or impressed her with your lifestyle, it's because you did the one thing most men are too afraid to do. You stopped showing up in the way she expected. That subtle distance, that quiet strength, that unspoken shift in energy, it makes her reevaluate everything. So let's say you've made the move, you've pulled back emotionally. You're no longer reacting to her mood swings, her mixed signals, or her silence. You're not cold, you're not rude, you're just still, calm, focused. And guess what? That silence, that shift, it's screaming louder than any words ever could. Because when a woman senses that your energy is no longer orbiting around her, she starts to feel the void, not because she needs you, but because she's used to the attention. And when that attention fades, it leaves a silence that echoes in her mind. She'll start wondering, did I lose him? Did I go too far? Why isn't he reacting like he used to? And that's where the power flips. You see, when you're always available, always texting first, always checking in, she doesn't have to value it. It becomes background noise, predictable. But the second you become unpredictable, you tap into something primal. Now, she's chasing the dopamine hit of your presence. She's scanning your energy, hoping to feel the warmth again, but you've become a mystery. This is how you flip the entire dynamic without saying a single word. And here's where most men mess it up. They do it for a day, maybe two, then they break. They start wondering, what if she thinks I don't care? What if she moves on? So they go back, they over-explain, they text some long emotional message. And just like that, the power they built evaporates. Because true emotional control isn't about pretending, it's about mastering your own need for validation. It's about being so grounded, so self-respecting, that you don't need her reaction to define your worth. You're not waiting for her to notice your absence, you're simply choosing peace over emotional chaos. And that peace, that emotional independence, is what changes how she sees you forever. Because now, you're not another man trying to win her over. You're the man who doesn't need to be won. You're the man who knows his value. You're the man she can't stop thinking about, not because you're chasing her, but because you walked away from the game entirely. You see, The moment you stop showing up in the way she expects, her mind gets restless. Because women are incredibly intuitive, and they're addicted to emotional patterns. If she's used to you texting every morning, replying instantly, always being emotionally accessible, and then one day that rhythm stops, it sends a signal straight to her subconscious that something has shifted. And that shift creates tension, but not the kind of tension that makes her pull away, the kind that pulls her in, because now you're not predictable, you're not a given, you're not her emotional safety net anymore. You've become a question, and women don't chase answers, they chase questions that they feel compelled to solve, especially when those questions are tied to the idea of losing something valuable. This is why emotional pullback works. It's not about punishing her, it's not about playing games. It's about removing your emotional availability and letting her feel the difference between your presence and your absence. You don't say, "I'm done." You don't announce anything, you just stop feeding the dynamic. No more trying to reassure her when she pulls away. No more texting to check how her day was. No more adjusting your behavior to avoid upsetting her. You detach, not with resentment, but with quiet strength, and suddenly she feels it. That stillness, that absence of your emotional energy, and now she's the one wondering. She's the one feeling insecure. She's the one analyzing every word she said, every action she made, trying to figure out what caused the shift. That's when the pedestal flips, because the truth is, she was never attracted to your constant presence. She was attracted to the version of you that had boundaries, standards, a purpose beyond her, the version that could walk away if necessary, not out of spite, but out of self-respect. And that's the move, brother. The one move that changes everything isn't loud, it's not aggressive, it doesn't involve confrontation or ultimatums, it's silence, it's stillness, it's you no longer trying to convince her of your worth, because now she feels it. And when a woman feels a man detached with peace, not with anger, not with manipulation, but with quiet certainty, her emotional system goes into overdrive, and in that storm of uncertainty, she begins to value what she once took for granted, because in the end, it's not what you say, it's what you withdraw. And when you withdraw your attention, your emotional support, your need to chase, that's when she sees you as a man she never really understood, a man she might never fully have, a man she now desperately wants to figure out. And that, my guy, is where the power lives.